Welcome to this week's edition of Inside Northeast Racing. Got a lot of racing and a lot of action to bring you here as our cameras are down on the high banks of Lebanon this week. You ever hear a driver tell the story about seeing the ground, the air, the ground, the air, and the ground again in a big-time rollover? Hang on, we're going for a ride right here at Lebanon Valley on Saturday night. The ground, the air, the ground, the air, the ground, the air, and back to the ground we come to a rest. Ouch, that hurt. Big time wreck by Bob Brown. A somber week as we remember Jason Leffler, a great sprint car and midget driver who was taken from us this week. A lot of sprint car action coming at you. Inside Northeast Racing is sponsored by the New York State Stock Car Association, Utica Rome Speedway, Bobco Video, RCT Roofing, LaGrange Media, Rayome's Towing and Recovery, our friends at Dirt Track Digest, Northeast Racing Videos, and Jack Shoes Race Car Parts and more. Taking a look at some action from the Midweek Madness program down at the Accord Speedway. Here's the Slingshots in action this past Wednesday night. Slingshot activity going on down at Accord. A good field of Slingshots down there last Wednesday. 4 wide, yeah, I know, we can probably get them 5, maybe even 6 wide, but some great 4 wide action. There's some 3 wide action through the corners. Bar to bar, wheel to wheel, they run here. Some great racing on a Wednesday night if you're looking for something to do. Gary Palmer's Accord Raceway, full of action down there. And, of course, they have their little mishaps, a little spin there. But we are ready to go back to green, nose to tail, coming down to the green flag here. This, again, is slingshot action from the Wednesday night program down at Accord Speedway, titled Midweek Madness. And we see some great side-by-side action down here into the corner. The slingshot cars on hand here, and of course the All-Star Division, and they also have the Junior Division running down here in the late stages of the event. As they come down, checkered flag will fly. Cole Henschel will pick up the win over Wyatt Clark. Jared Labaugh finishing in 3rd position. And here is the victory lane photos. Cole Henschel, the All-Star winner, and Leo Fotopoulos in the Junior Division of the Slingshots. Staying down at Accord, we'd like to send out congratulations to the 4th generation driver out of the Lutz family, Alyssa Cody. Winner in the big cars, her first feature event victory. Here's a look ahead. Niska night coming up at Utica Rome Speedway. Well, we're going racing now up at the Great Race Place, Albany Saratoga Speedway on Friday night. It was the 2nd annual Mike Ronca Memorial event as they memorialize a great racer and a great man, Hungry Mike. Here's the early stages of the main event out front here. Rich Scalata with the number 8 car leading the way there. Here is Mike's younger brother, Rich Ronca, as Ken Tremont Jr., the 12-time champion, overtakes him. Around the 4 car he goes. Some side-by-side racing here. Brett Hearn working down on the inside of Jeremy Wilder, and Hearn would take the position away. Wilder's been having a dandy of a season up at Albany Saratoga here in his rookie season at the Great Race Place. Here's Keith Flack working the high side of the 77J car with Kenny Tremont close in tow. They would restart this one, 1st and 2nd, as they come down off the corner. Keith Flack stands on it on the high side. He opted to take the outside lane. He would bring him down here into turn number 1 and hang on to the number 1 position as they work up off of turn number 2. Kenny Tremont nosing out in front once again. And now they'll slide across the bow of the 77J, and Kenny Tremont Jr. takes over the number 1 position. Here's Brett Hearn closing in on Kenny Tremont. This was latter stages of the event. Hearn would pull even off of turn number 4, but Tremont using the momentum in the outside lane here to hold off the hard-charging Hearn. When they came to the line, that's how close it was.
Well, thank you, Dan. Down here with the driver, the 115, Kenny Tremont. Ken, before we get to the race in general, tonight's race was in honor of Mike Ronca. Tell us a little bit about your times out here running with Mike.
Mike was a true gentleman, and his whole family is. His father, Nick, and both his brothers, Rich and Don. It's a great racing family. They've been around a long time, and certainly an honor to win his race.
Here with the brother of Mike Ronca, Don Ronca. Don, can you just tell us quickly how much this all means to you with everything going on here tonight?
Wow, this is really, I don't know what to say. This is a great response. These guys are really doing a good job for us, and it's nice to have do something for memory of Mike. It's really nice.
And Godspeed, Hungry Mike, as you are missed, and a great memorial event at Albany, Saratoga on Friday evening. Kenny Tremont Jr. was the winner. Brett Hearn would finish second. Rich Scalata was third. Ronnie Johnson fourth. And the Aussie, Peter Britton, would round out the top five.
Potter holding them off as they head down the back straightaway. They'll see the 2 to go sign off at turn number 3 and 4. Dorio again going to make his way off the corner. We'll see the parallel flags this time by. The battle for the number 2 spot starting to shape up as this time Potter ducks to the low side. We'll see if Davis tries to go up high. He will not, but there's Jesse Edwards right behind them. Lap and a half to go here in this second of 2 qualifiers for the Novice Sportsman Division. They'll make their way through turn number 3 and 4. Once again, here comes Davis on the inside of Potter trying to make a bid for the spot at the white flag. 1 lap to go now for the 18 of Zach Dorio as they make their way up through turn number 1 and 2. A little bit of contact between the 7 and the 26 is now Edwards going to get involved on it. They'll make their way through down the back straightaway one final time through turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Zach Dorio going to pick up the win in heat race number 2. Second will be the 26 of Wally Potter. Third, Timothy Davis Jr. Fourth will be Jesse Edwards. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 17 of Brandon Pitcher.
That's my partner, Mike. Good job. As we take a look now, we'll take a trip down to Mike and I's Saturday night home, the Lebanon Valley Speedway, where it was the Bubba Tanner Classic, a 23-lap event where we memorialized Bubba Tanner, a great racer in full-fendered action, a long-standing event here at Lebanon Valley, and it was a big event. That event is brought to you by DMC Racing Products. Bobby Chalmers and the gang presenting the 23-lap Bubba Tanner Classic. Here's the green flag as they come down here into turn number 1. Paul La Rochelle working down to the inside of Ricky Duzlak here in green flag action. 3 wide action way up on the outside, the 243 of Victor Hopkins. But the man to keep your eye on was the 17 of Nicky Hilt. Here, cars come together down to the inside of turn number 1, sending Jay Corbin down to the flat side of the speedway. As off of turn number 2, cars get together up towards the front. Chuck Towsley will emerge out in front there as they work their way off of turn number 2. A little bit later in the program, mayhem off the corner. Over in turn number 2, Dickie Colasani, a rare appearance. Rich Colasani going back behind the wall with damage to the front of the 41 car. As we're back underway under green flag conditions now, down into turn number 1. Up on the front, the veteran Paul La Rochelle would lead the way around, but the 17 of Nick Hilt Jr. was on the charge. There's last week's winner, the 322 of Jay Casey, starting to mount a charge there. Here's Corbin trying to work his way back up through. Casey right now back there in 3rd position as Nick Hilt Jr. takes the number 1 position away from Paul La Rochelle. La Rochelle on the inside, Hilt on the outside, and Hilt used that fast lane to bring it on home. As here's Hilt coming down to checkers. As they work their way down the line, Nick Hilt Jr. picked up the win. Paul La Rochelle would finish 2nd, Victor Hopkins 3rd, Rick Dempsey 4th, and Jason Casey rounding out your top 5.
Mike Warren here with regular small block competitor here at the Lebanon Valley Speedway, Jason Harrington. Jason, you picked up the win in the small blocks last week, but tonight you go to a different venture, stepping into Doug Emery's sprint car.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. You know, we're here to have a good time, and we had the night off tonight. I gave Doug a call, and we've been talking about it for a while, and I ran this here a few years ago, and we had a good time, and so he got me a hold of me, and we got back and forth with each other and set this up, and we're here to have fun.
Now, talk to us a little bit about what the difference is between taking the wing sprint car out against the small block modified.
Oh my God, it's a totally different animal. It is just, it's thrill-seeking. It's amazing. I mean, the speed, the just from start to finish, the speed through the corners, the speed down the straightaways, the way the cars, you sit in the car, coming down the straightaway, you're actually steering towards the grandstands, and that's something you don't do in a modified.
Now, I know you've driven a lot of different cars out here so far in your career. Is this one of your favorite things to do?
It's fun. It really is. I'm not saying last week was probably my most favorite time, but whenever you're doing good, you kind of like say that's what I like to do. If we go out there tonight and do halfway decent in this, I'll probably say, geez, this is awesome. But no, really, this is just a good fun thing to do. We're going out and have some fun. And, I kind of get around the track pretty well with the modified, and it was just, hopefully I can adapt to it.
Any sponsor you'd like to mention?
Well, for starters, I'd like to thank Doug Emery Motorsports. I mean, he's been doing this for many, many, many years, and he drives himself. And when they go to different tracks, like a few weeks ago, they had Stuart Friesen in the car at Utica Rome. I believe Stewie might be driving it at Malta when they go to Malta. Of course, here he got a hold of me and said, "This is your track. You want to run?" And so that my family, my mom and my dad, for helping me out, my uncle. Reifenberg Construction, on a weekly basis with the modified, and Roberts Towing and John Ray and Sons and all them guys, and my crew and my daughter. She was a little nervous. I know there was a tragedy this past week at Bridgeport with Jason Leffler, and she when I went and picked this thing up on Wednesday night, she was all excited, and she watches Speed and she watches the news with me, and last night she said, "Are you sure you don't want to change your mind?" When that's coming from an 8-year-old, my 8-year-old daughter, it hits home, But I assured her that Dave was going to go out and have a good time and be safe as he could be, and we're going to go have fun.
All right, Jason, good luck tonight. Here with Jason Harrington for Inside Northeast Racing, I'm Mike Warren. Mike Warren here along with ESS driver Matt Tanner. Now, Matt, you're coming back to your home track tonight, Lebanon Valley Speedway, for the third time in 3 consecutive years. You got to be happy to be racing in your backyard.
Yeah, it feels real good. We're traveling 3-4 hours a week, so to come 10 minutes from home is pretty fun, and get a lot of people that don't get to go to the races and see me come out tonight, so real happy.
Now, last week you guys got to take the venture up to Evans Mills, and it's a little bit different on a sprint car. First time the ESS got a chance on asphalt. Tell us a little bit about what it was like.
Oh, yeah, we had to change tires and bars and shocks, and we were really bad to start the night out, but we kept working on it for the feature there. We were pretty good, ran second, and that was a different experience, fun, kind of added to my resume of stuff I got to do, but now we're back to the stuff we run every week, so this is where it really counts.
Now, what would you say is the difference, obviously, other than the surface, of running the car on the asphalt compared to the dirt?
You had to think a lot more, because it seems like if you missed a little bit, it costs you a lot more time than it does on dirt, and it wasn't like you could just jump to the outside and pass somebody. You really had to calculate your moves and just kind of build your momentum up and keep it rolling.
Now, going into tonight at Lebanon Valley, your season's been pretty good so far. What do you got for the fans here tonight?
We got a good motor this year, and that's the biggest thing here. So hopefully we get a good run out for my sponsors and everybody that came out to see me. But the place is tough to pass, and never know what it's going to do as far as the surface. So hopefully we can get a good run in and should have fun tonight.
Speaking of those sponsors, got a few you want to mention here quick?
Yeah, I want to thank Reifenberg Construction. Without them, none of this would be possible. Good Remote Excavation, Sykes Enterprise, my family and all my friends. Without them, we wouldn't be doing this at all.
All right, Matt, good luck tonight. For Inside Northeast Racing, I'm Mike Warren.
And, of course, the big event down at Lebanon Valley on Saturday night was the return of the Empire Super Sprints. The ESS Sprinters were on hand, and always neat to see sprint cars on the high banks of Lebanon, and the ESS proving that they can put on one heck of a show. Had a great showing as far as cars, as far as people, and beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon greeting the ESS Sprinters. Here we go with some action, and we had plenty of it on Saturday night with the sprint cars. There, now you can't see me. Oh, now you can. Well, that didn't work either. What do you think, Mike? Empire Super Sprints. There's the 90 Henry Tanner Mike was just talking to a few moments ago. Here's your salute to the crowd. They did leave the spot open down here. Blaze, Regina, and Jason Leffler being paid tribute, I should say, as the field comes down. Fireworks in the air. There were going to be fireworks on the track as well, as the ESS Sprint cars made their one and only appearance for 2013 at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. Of course, some super fast action. Here's Mikel Pearant up on the outside of row number 1. He pulls the trigger. The outside Lebanon pole leads the way down into turn number 1. And Pearant super fast here on Saturday night. There's the 28 of Steve Poirier, the Fireball, always fast down at Lebanon Valley as they work their way down off of turn number 4. This is one of the local runners, the 7 of Corey Sparks. There's Jessica Zemkin with the number 1 Z car. JZ always fast when she makes her way down onto the high banks. Here is the 10 of Jeff Cook going up to turn 4, tagging the wall, going in for end and up and down on his wheels again. But a wild ride for Cook in the number 10 car as he comes to rest here on his wheels off of turn number 4. One of what was a few flips on this past Saturday night at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. As we get ready to go back to green flag action, out in front, Pearant was going to take no prisoners as he works his way up off of turn number 2. Keep an eye on Paul Kinney, the number 19 car, as he gets a charge. There's the Cobra, the 45. He had a 2-race win streak coming into last Saturday night's action down at Lebanon Valley. Here he slides by the 1Z of Jessica Zemkin, the 90 of Matt Tanner, local boy as far as Lebanon goes. Of course, his father, Henry Tanner, a longtime runner and a former champion in the pro stocks. Checkers did come out here. Michael Pearant picked up the win, and Steve Poirier would finish second. Paul Kinney was third, Chuck Hebing fourth, and Matt Tanner rounded out your top 5.
Well, Michael, congratulations on the win here at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. I'll tell you what, that was a hard-fought victory. It did not come easy.
No, it was, I see when Steve was beside me, I got a little nervous there, but I kept doing what I've been doing the whole race, and I guess lap traffic at the end helped me a little bit. They were on the bottom, and I see Steve was there, so it turned out great for us.
How good was this car tonight? You know, it seemed like all night long it was awesome on the top of the speedway.
Yeah, that car been really good since 3 weeks. I mean, I got to thank the whole crew, my dad, Timmy, and Robert. They work hard, and I mean, that car was turning by itself to the left, so it was good.
Is this a little bit of a vengeance for back earlier in the season when Steve got you down at East Bay Raceway Park? Now you kind of held him off to get a win.
Yes, we had a great run down there. Me and Steve had lots of fun, and he got me in lap traffic too. So I mean, I was able to stay up front that time.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
I got to thank Le Groupe Ultra, Terrassement Plus, my whole family. They're at home. My dad and Robert and Timmy and his wife. I got to thank them.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a hand. Your Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprint A-Main feature winner, driver of the 25, Michael Pearant. Grab a word with second place finisher here, Steve Poirier. Steve, you had a couple of restarts there. Just looked like it took you a couple of laps to get going.
Yeah, the car was good after like 5 laps, so it took me a while to go, and the engine was stumbling on restart, so it didn't help me. The car was super good. I thought at the end, because I found a line low on the inside, that I could have something for Michael, but he was just too good for me. I was just trying some different thing, maybe driving a little bit harder at the end, and didn't work, but he drove a good race.
You know, coming out of here, you have a feature win here in the past, but still you're continuing that streak of solid finishes here with the Empire Super Sprints.
That's a super good track for us. So we won from the pole, but the last 3 times we started 20th, 12th, and 12th. So that track is not easy to maneuver. I'm pretty happy about moving to the front with that car.
Who do you got to thank tonight, Steve?
My crew again, Kevin and Real, they do an awesome job. We changed the car quite a bit. Car was super good for the feature, and good sponsor that helped me.
All right, congratulations, your second place finisher here tonight. Driver of the 28 FM, Steve Poirier. And now we'll grab a word with third place finisher, driver the number 19K, Paul Kinney. Hey, Paul, not a bad job here tonight at Lebanon Valley Speedway.
Yeah, we had a good run. I like coming here. Last year we did pretty good. I think we finished 6th or 7th, and we won the dash. That was exciting for us. And someone didn't get going here on that last restart, and it allowed me to scoop by Jess there on the outside. And I was just waiting for this thing to end. I have no brakes. I thought I was going to run into Steve down here on the track. So for having no brakes and stuff like that, I think we did a good job.
You mentioned getting by Jessica. You guys were going at it in that race. You went low. She would go high. You'd go high. She'd go low. And then ultimately you were able to get out here and come out in third.
Yeah, I think that last restart, I don't know if she got held up there, but I've learned a lot from Jess. I love racing with her. We're really good friends, and I like beating her too, but I would have finished 4th behind her, would have been okay, but it's cool to be down here in 3rd.
Who do you got to thank tonight, Paul?
Buell Fuels, the Country Cafe, FX Caprera, Kate, my dad, Chris, Ernie, Gary, Tom, Steve, everybody that just helps on this thing. Can't thank them enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's let them hear you. Finishing in third, driver the number 19K, Paul Kinney.
And now it's time for our NISCA weekly winners. The New York State Stock Car Association saluting the winners this past week's action. This coming week, safety night at Utica Rome Speedway on Sunday evening, June 23rd. It'll be NISCA Safety Night at Utica Rome, where each of the NISCA members in competition will be given the opportunity to win additional cash. The first and second NISCA members across the line will cash in on NISCA Safety Night. Here's your weekly winners from this past week. Starting off at Glen Ridge, it was Duke McSpirit, Luke Horning, Shane Playford, Josh Panizik, Bobby Varon, Ray Zemkin. At Fonda, it was Robbie Veronese, Kenny Hollenbeck, Keith Tessero Jr., Dave Constantino, Stuart Friesen, Pete Broderson. Albany, Saratoga, it was Josh Coonrat, Cody Blue, Kenny Tremont, Matt Papa, Eddie Thompson. Lebanon Valley, it was Nick Hilt Jr., Michael Pearant, Andy Bacchetti, Al Relier, Dave Stickles, and Lou Ganser. At Orange County Fair Speedway, it was Jerry Higbee, Bobby Varon, Brian Crummell, Michael Dubois, and Charlie Donald. That's your NISCA weekly winners, and don't forget, it's NISCA Safety Night at Utica Rome this Sunday evening. And now it's time to take a trip back to the High Banks, back to Lebanon Valley Speedway for the modified main event. Modified feature already going green down here to turn number 1 up on the front. It's the Connecticut Yankee, Denny Soltis, from the outside front row starting spot. Soltis would take the early lead. He would be out front here. There's one of the 34 cars going up, another 34 car coming in together as both Kim Lavoie and Steve Huff come together. The Kingfish also involved in the incident there. Ready to go back to green flag action. We're underway as they make their way down here to turn number 1. Solt is still your leader, but the man on the move, fastest car in the racetrack in the early going of the main event, was Kyle Sheldon in the 42 car. Here's a look back deeper in the pack. Jimmy Burns working down to the inside of Robbie Pitcher. J.R. Hefner pulling down to the inside of Kyle Armstrong as they work their way down here to the west end banking. You see Brett Hearn just ahead of Andy Bacchetti as they work their way down off of turn number 4 there. Down in front, here we go towards the pit area. Kim Lavoie experiencing a tough night. She's back behind the wall with the 34L car after that early incident down in the east end of the speedway. Green flag back out. We're back underway. They start double file. Down to turn number 1 they go. Soltis on the outside. Kyle Sheldon trying to take the number 1 spot. Around and an odd he goes. Gathering up Paul Gilardi's 87X. Brett Hearn was also involved. Here's a slow motion replay. Mark Flack Jr. also involved in that. You see the Flack attack in the 77 F car and 4-car incident up in turn number 2, while it looked like Kyle Sheldon might have had the car to go to the front. Back to green they go. Up on the outside, Denny Soltis fires away off of turn number 4 once again, and now it's the man in black, Kyle Hoffman, up there to contend with him. But the man who would not be denied, coming off a 3-race win streak, the wild child, Andy Bacchetti, working up on the number 1 position down here. Here's Brett Hearn and Kenny Tremont trying to make their charge up through the pack. Hearn on the go, working down to the inside of Colby Schroeder as they work their way down into turn number 3. Good run by Donnie Corellis on Saturday night. Right rear tire down on the Madsen Motorsports car of Hearn. Back underway here, Andy Bacchetti. Wild child action up on the outside. The sprint cars moved the cushion up, and Andy Bacchetti went with that cushion as he comes down across the line to pick up the win. Andy Bacchetti, your winner, his 4th in a row. Kyle Hoffman finished 2nd. Donnie Corellis was 3rd. J.R. Hefner 4th. And Keith Flack rounding out your top 5. Well, changing gears, now we'll head out to the Fonda Speedway for some modified action. And here is track announcer Josh Phillips with the call of the race.
Flag, 26 cars strong off of turn number 4. down. We are racing down the front stretch. Joe Mike Soul going to lead them down into turn number 1. Rockefeller working down low on the inside. Side by side they race. Rockefeller going to hang right there with them down the front stretch into turn number 3. Here comes Craig Hansen going to try to make a go of it down there in the middle. 3 wide midway through the pack. As Mahaney right there sitting pretty in the middle as they come off of turn number 4. Mahaney going to shoot up to the number 5 spot as he gets by Gleason and Kislowski. Your race leader lap number 1, Jeff Rockefeller, but Jamike Soul pedaling up there on the top. Car over in turn number 1 and going over on it. Okay, and that is the number 1 most important thing. We got some of the best in the business here with our by Hansen hanging with him and got a good run that time off of turn number 2 as Soul jumped the cushion on the backstretch. They go into turn number 3. Here comes Hansen down low. Hansen looking for the lead as they come off of turn number 4. Hansen way down on the inside. Jamike Soul, you got to peel him off the wall. And Hansen going to grab the race lead 10 laps in the books. So Jamike Soul making a long go of it way out on the outside. Hansen cutting it down low and grabbing the race lead. And Soul misses the mark in turn number 2. Gives up the big run once again. Hansen just under a half a second advantage as they went across the stripe the last time. He's got C.G. Morey right there. Morey running the bottom inside line, the preferred line for Stuart Friesen. And Friesen now on the back bumper with 7 to go. Friesen down to the inside at turn number 1. Friesen pulls the slide job up in front of Craig Hansen, grabs the race lead, gives a wave, and drives on away. Friesen now 5-6 car lengths into defending track champ, your current points leader. Out of turn number 4 on the high side of the speedway. Checker flag is in the air, and Stuart Friesen picks up win number 5.
And Stuart Friesen was the winner of that event, followed by Craig Hansen finishing in 2nd. Mike Mahaney would finish 3rd, Matt DiLorenzo 4th, and Jeff Rockefeller rounded out the top 5. Now we bring you the Fonda Pro Stocks. Fonda Pro Stocks presented by RCT Roofing, and we'll head back to Josh Phillips for the call of the race.
21 Pro Stocks in attendance here tonight. Full field looking for the green off, but turn number 4. Racing and underway. 3 wide for the race lead down into turn number 1. McSpirit working on the top side. Councilman, Cousin Luke down through the middle. As they come off of turn number 2, McSpirit showing the way, but here comes Cousin Luke. Big run down on the inside. McSpirit working the top side of the speedway is your race leader. Luke working down on the inside. Keep an eye on him. Hopefully he can make it through turn number 3 and 4. A lot of bad luck for that driver the last couple of weeks. And the first time out of turn number 4, I know he is breathing easy now back there in the number 2 spot. We've got him 3 wide right there behind him. Your race leader right now, Chuck McSpirit, looking for the first win of his Pro Stock career. Moved up to the Pro Stocks from the Street Stocks this year, but they're side by side right there behind him. Normoil working down on the inside. All right, looking for the green flag on the backstretch. McSpirit going to fire first, but here comes Jocelyn right there with him. Jocelyn looking for the race lead down to the inside. Side by side, 3 wide for the number 2 spot. Crazy Kenny Martin down to the inside with Broderson right there behind him. And new race leader off, but turn number 4. Ivan Jocelyn takes the helm up at the front of this one. 3 wide battle right there behind him. Kenny Martin looking for the race lead as he goes out of turn number 2. And he's going to move up to the number 2 spot with Normoil in 3rd. 4th will now be Broderson. 5th will be McSpirit as he gets shuffled back. Kenny Gates looking to grab a top 5 position as he comes out of turn number 4 down on the inside. Down the front stretch they come. So Jocelyn maintaining the top spot right now. Martin going to give up the number 2 spot to Broderson. So Broderson now working on the top side looking for the race lead as they come off of turn number 3. On to turn number 4, 3 wide for the race lead as they come off the corner. Broderson will now put the 53 machine up at the front. So Broderson, Martin, Jocelyn, your top 3. Normoil, McSpirit, 4th and 5th. Dennis Jocelyn, 6th, 7th is Gates. Then you got Dembluski, Horny, smooth and steady. Call him Silk as he enters turn number 4. Off the corner, you can see the checker flag from Denny Tilson. 3 in a row, Pete Broderson.
Pete Broderson was the feature event victor there. Of course, Ivan Jocelyn came across the line in 2nd. Kenny Martin was 3rd. Chuck McSpirit finished 4th. And Jim Normoil completed your top 5 when the RCT Roofing presented Fonda Pro Stocks this past Saturday night. And to round out our racing action, we'll head up to the Ridge. Glen Ridge modified action, the Glen Ridge feature from this past Friday night. And, hey, Josh Phillips is on a roll. Let's go back to Josh for the call of the Glen Ridge modified feature this past Friday night.
Lead them down into turn number 1 and 2. Vetter battling up on the top side. Side by side, they race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Savoy gonna beat him to the corner, throws the right rear up on the top side of the speedway. Off turn number 4, 1 lap in the book. Bob Savoy, your race leader.
So Savoy will lead the way through turns number 1 and 2. Vetter still there for second. Rockefeller and Price. They'll battle it out for position number 3. Price sneaks down to the inside. Rockefeller, he'll take it up to the top shelf. They'll work it off the first turn. Cut down to the line. Rockefeller, he'll fade. He'll go back to that fourth spot with Rocky Warner now challenging down low.
Warner took a look, but here comes Reckner down to the inside. His Price going to move up to number 2 spot. Bobby Barrett starting to get it going down to the inside of Greg Hansen. Everybody right now trying to chase that number 5.
Tire off the racing action. Here comes Reckner. Reckner going to try to do the dance up on the top side. Off at turn 2 and Reckner with a power move. And Elmo Reckner now takes over the number 1 spot. Richie Price, meanwhile, the odd man out of this one, he's going to fall all the way back outside the top line.
Greg Hansen used that restart to shoot ahead of Bobby Pearant and Richie Price. Rockefeller wheeled. Pearant trying to use the top side of the speedway. Big run out of turn number 2 down the backstretch as they go down to turn number 3. This time by 10 laps to go. Reckner bobbles getting through turn number 3 side by side at the line. Into turn number 1 and 2. Pearant challenging for the race lead. Gives a little wave, drives on by. A little bit of contact. Reckner hanging right there down on the inside as they come out of turn number 4. Pearant, your new race leader.
Bobby Barrett taking over the top spot with that Bluefield Florida sponsor number 85. And Reckner about a half straightaway, making a full straightaway back now. One more time to turn 3. Off at turn number 4 comes your winner here this evening.
Bobby Barron was the feature event winner there. Elmo Reckner would finish in second. Bob Savoy would finish in third spot. Jeff Rockefeller was fourth. And Rocky Warner would round out your top 5 at Glen Ridge this past Friday night. You've been watching Inside Northeast Racing, sponsored by the New York State Stock Car Association, Utica Rome Speedway, RCT Roofing, Ray Ohms Towing and Recovery, Bobco Video, Northeast Racing Videos, LaGrange Media, and Jack's Used Race Car Parts and more. Well, it's been a good week. Had some great racing. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Inside Northeast Racing is a Northeast Racing Videos production. Keep your eyes out as our cameras are wandering a speedway near you. For Mike Warren, Mike Mallett, Josh Phillips, until next time, my name's Dan Martin, saying, see ya.